Welcome to the Lupin Bar podcast. My name's Kate and I'm coming to you from North Wales in the UK. This is episode 20, which is a lovely round number for the first episode of the new year of 2017. So a big happy new year to everybody, or blwyddyn newydd dda if you speak Welsh, os da chi'n siarad Cymraeg, so that's if you speak Welsh. I've got a lovely new calendar to show you, and it's by a Welsh, well actually she's a French lady but she lives in South Wales, but they're beautiful illustrations of Welsh rural life, and of course all the months are written in Welsh, so I'm going to show you that in this podcast, and that will give us a little bit of Welsh for the podcast as well, because I know that people have been saying that they enjoyed that part of the podcast, so yeah, I think we'll do that. I've got some lovely things to show you. I've been really busy. This is I think it's about 3 weeks since I did my last podcast. It must be because I did it before Christmas, my last podcast, and it's now something like, hang on, I'll look at my calendar. It is, it's in Welsh, so it's going to take me ages to work out what day it is. What day is it? Thursday, DVI. So it's the 19th of January today. So we're more than halfway through January. Can't say. Do you know what? By the time I actually sit down and press the record button, I've usually, even though it's now my 20th time recording, I have normally spent at least half an hour, if not more, faffing around with the camera, trying to get the camera in a good position, getting everything that I need and want to show for the podcast, trying to remember the things that I want to talk about. I don't make notes, well actually I have made notes in the past, but I haven't made any today. I'm not organised at all. And by the time I sit down to actually speak and record on the podcast, I don't really know whether I'm coming or going usually, so you'll have to excuse me. I'm a bit scatterbrained. I'm just looking at the pile of lovely things I've got to show you. Now there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to try and remember to talk about as well. I don't know if I'm going to remember it all, but I think we'll just have to see how it goes. So, as I said, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you all had a very lovely festive season. Me and Avion did. Have I podcast since Christmas? I don't think so. We had a lovely quiet Christmas day. Avion did not work on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, so we just had a nice quiet meal at home. I have podcast since Christmas. Sorry, is this the second one? No, I know, I podcast between Christmas and New Year, didn't I? Sorry. I've told you about my Christmas, I'm not going to do that again. See, scatterbrain, not a good start to the new year really, is it? Okay, so we've talked about Christmas. It's January now, we're halfway through January, let's not talk about Christmas anymore. So, I have got some lovely things to show you. I've got a couple of new acquisitions, some lovely yarn. I've got the things that I'm working on for the January Cal, which I have never actually got round to renaming, which I said I would, but we're just calling it the January Cal, so that's okay. So I think I'm just going to get stuck in. As you may notice, I'm still wearing my Christmas jumper. Can you see? Am I in the shot? Fully. Don't know if I'm fully in the shot. I've got a beautiful badge on. I'll come close to the camera to show you. I try not to talk while I'm right next to the camera because I think it goes really loud. But it's a fox badge. I love foxes. I think they're so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love all wild animals, but they're one of my favourite. And my friend Neris, which is Avion's cousin, gave this to me for my birthday back in the summer. Could have even been the year before. Anyway, she gave it to me for one of my birthdays. and it's been on its little card on my shelf just behind me here until very recently, and I just couldn't resist any longer, and I just wanted to wear it. I haven't worn it so far because I don't want to lose it or ruin it or get it stuck on things, and because I wear so many layers normally, if I put something like a brooch on, it usually gets covered up by another layer. So, but since I knitted this jumper, it's the only big chunky layer that I need. So I've been wearing my beautiful brooch, and it really goes very nicely with this jumper, so it's a lovely combination. I hope you can see it. It's gorgeous. Now, I have actually forgotten the name of the designer. She's on Etsy, and I will do my best to try and find out, but do you know what I think I've done is, I think I've got rid of the card, unless it's on my wall, pinned up on my wall there. No, it's not. I don't think it is. No, it's not. Sometimes I've got, behind my computer I pin up all the business cards, not all of them, but if they're really nice ones, or companies that I want to remember and use again. Or letters and cards that I've got through the post. I've got my little origami star. I've got a pattern that I ripped out, a picture that I've taken out of a magazine because I want to remember to go and find that pattern and buy it. I'll show you that in a future podcast, it's beautiful. Some discount coupons for when I reorder things. Lists of things that I need to do for the podcast, or remember to do, or remember to buy. So yeah, and I thought I'd put it on there, but I haven't. I think it's been swept into the bin with my fabric cuttings and clippings. So, I'll ask Neris actually. If anybody wants to know, just ask. I could have favourited it. It's possible I favourited her shop on my Etsy, or I might have done that before I changed my Etsy shop. So it could be that I've lost that as well. So sorry, I can't tell you who made it. It's a maker on Etsy, and if anybody wants to know, just drop me a line and I will try to find out if Neris can remember where she got it from. So, okay, it's been really busy. I've been making lots of project bags. I could have shown, I've got a big pile of them just sitting in front of me, which I made up yesterday. And that was my second batch of the week. I put them onto Etsy this morning, and I didn't even post an Instagram prompt for that because I was just going to let them sit in the shop for an hour or so. I had somebody who I knew was having trouble getting hold of one of these bags, so I told her I'd just pop them into the shop at a certain time and then give it an hour before I posted on Instagram, just because she was so lovely when she asked me. A lovely lady who owns a yarn shop in Switzerland, I think she said, and I think, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I won't say it anyway because, yeah, but so anyway, she managed to successfully get a bag, which was fantastic. I was really pleased, and not only that, but all of the others sold out as well. Oh no, I think there might be still one in there, but I don't know if that will still be there by the time the podcast airs. So I'm still having lots of absolutely fabulous fun, lots of success with the bags, and that's all going extremely well. The momentum seems to be still there, and the people still seem to be wanting to buy my bags. Continually surprised by that, and absolutely a little bit overwhelmed in a brilliant way. And I'm just having lots of fun making them and putting them into the Etsy shop. I felt a bit bad this morning because I was rushing a bit because I wanted to do this podcast episode, and I think the photos that I put in there were a little bit wibbly wobbly, not quite 100% focused. They're not quite up to my usual, my personal standard of how I'd like to present a photograph of my work. So if anybody noticed that, I do apologise. I was a bit rushing, as I said. I'm a bit. I can't even speak. I'm in a bit of a flap. Just trying to get lots done today. I've got to go to work this afternoon. And then it's supposed to be my knit night tonight, but it's possible that I will be not going to that because I've got quite a lot that I've got to get done this evening. But we'll see. Shall I show you some things? It's nice to see some stuff, isn't it, when you're watching a podcast? Okay, so I'll just have a quick sip of my tea, if it's not too hot. No, it's perfect. I've got licorice tea. I've had a cold and a cough. The cough has gone, but it's a perfect excuse to drink lots of licorice tea. I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere that licorice is good for your respiratory system. I'm not really entirely sure, but I always imagine when I'm drinking it that it's going to help me with my, if I've got a bit of a chesty cough or something like that. And I just love licorice tea. I think the first thing I'll show you is the calendar, just to get us started. So, in my local town, it's a few miles away, we've got a shop called Bis Abaud, and that means fingers and thumbs? Well, kind of. It means finger and thumb. Because I think Basev is fingers, plural. Anyway, you're going to get quite a lot of Welsh in this podcast, I think. Welsh ponderings. Anyway, it's called Bis Abaud, and it's a book. It's a shop that sells Welsh books. Everything is yn Cymraeg, which means in Welsh, and they sell other things like CDs, possibly audiobooks. That would be good if they did. Calendars, stationery, gifts. So really nice pottery, and other bits and bobs like that, cards, and everything is in the Welsh language, because that's the language that's predominantly spoken in my area. Obviously English is as well, but for most people who are local to this area, Welsh is their first language. So, and last time I went in there, I think I went to get a card. And I've got some lovely pictures, some cards that I want to show you, but I'll wait till I've got the other two because I'm going to make up a little framed picture of them, so I'll show you that in a further podcast because they're so beautiful. But I'm just going to show you this calendar. So when I was in there I saw this beautiful calendar, and it's by Valérie Leblond, who's the lady that, she's a French lady living in South Wales, and she is an illustrator. She's on Etsy, so you can find her, Valérie Leblond. If you want to know, if you want me to send you a link, just ask me in the podcast thread on Ravelry or down below in the YouTube comments, and I'll happily send you a link to her shop. Or I believe she's in my favourites, so if you find me on Etsy and look in my favourites, I think you can do that. You should be able to find her, hopefully, in there. Anyway, so here's the calendar, without further ado. Now, I've got the camera in a different position today, so I've got to practice where to put things so that you can see them. Oh, and I've just realised that I'm next to the window, so it's going to be a bit shiny. If I can get a bit... Oh, I've got the price on the back. Hang on, let me get that off. You don't want to see that, do you, the price tag? It sort of ruins the aesthetic. It's a beautiful illustrations. It's stuck to my fingers now. So here's a picture of... I'm looking in the mirror. I've got the mirror behind the camera so I can see what I'm showing you. I don't really know how well this is showing up. I know I say this every time. But it's the 2017 calendar. There's her name. Oh, hang on. Where is her name? Sorry. There's her name, if you can see that. Okay. I'm practicing holding things still for a bit longer as well, so that it gives the camera time to focus. Is that the first one? So this is January. Do you know what? I hope it's not going to be too shiny. And what I'll do is I'll just go through the calendar and show you the illustrations. I was going to do this once a month on the podcast, but I'm quite sporadic with my podcasting, so I'm just going to show you them all now because they're so beautiful. So January in Welsh is Ionawr, and there's the word for January. Whoops. Ionawr. It's really beautiful. I think these must be scenes from West Wales. Where's this one? trefolion, lliw olew a bren gan lliw olew. Oh, an oil colour. Bren, I think that means on board. So it's an oil paint. This is from an oil painting, yeah. I don't know where Trefolion is. That's probably in South Wales. Maybe you know. We've got a couple of members of the Ravelry group now who are in South Wales, so perhaps you recognise this place. But it's really beautiful. So that's February, which is, let me get this right, Chwefror. There's the word for February. This is brilliant, so I'm not going to have to put the annotations on at the end. Oh my gosh, I've got something really exciting to show you, to tell you about February as well. Let me just check there's nothing personal on my... I'm only showing you the pictures, I haven't really written anything in these yet. So the next month is March, and it says Cae Eilir. Cae means field, so presumably Eilir, I think that's a name. So that's Eilir's field, I think that means. But that's a lovely picture of a Welsh lady in her Welsh dress, the Welsh traditional dress. Has she got the hat on? She's got a hat on, yeah. And they're just doing their everyday sort of farmy kind of things, putting out the washing. He's hoeing the field by the look of it. There's a little lamb. It's very, very sweet. Oh yeah, and March is... I should say that actually when you're saying the months, you have to say the word mis before each month. So it's mis Mawrth. Oops, sorry, what it's doing. Mis is the word for month. So you'd say mis Ionawr, mis Chwefror, mis Mawrth. I really hope my pronunciation's acceptable. Ebrill, which is April. Amser Gwely, so that means bedtime. Amser Gwely, that's the title of that particular illustration. I really hope these are showing up because I have no idea. I can't see in the... I can't really see in the... What am I trying to say? Camera. So that's Mis Ebrill. And the next one is Mis Mai, which is May. You're really having a big Welsh lesson today, aren't you? Where's that one? Let's have a look. Cynllun Prynhawn. Cynllun. I'm going to have to guess. Prynhawn means afternoon. Cynllun. Cyntaf means first, so it could mean beginning of the afternoon. Should have looked it up. Any Welsh speakers can help me out? That would be brilliant. The other thing is as well that this could be in... There's Mai, by the way. That's how you spell Mis Mai for May. Ooh, it doesn't look like it's focused. No, sometimes I hold things too close. I've realised that as well when I'm looking back at the podcast. I hold things a bit too close. I'm going to try hard and not do that this time. I was saying something and I've forgotten, so we'll just go on to the next month. Mis Mehefin. So this is June. Mis Mehefin. And they are shearing, which is something that happens a lot around here. In Mis Mehefin. Where's the word? Whoops. Mis Mehefin. I've got my little birds visiting the bird feeder while I'm showing you. Maybe you can hear them. I've got the window open today. It's a little bit chilly, but the sound of the birds is so gorgeous. I just can't have the window closed. I need to be able to hear them. Okay, so this is my birthday month, Mis Gorffennaf, and this says Mel, which is the Welsh word in... Oh, that's what I was saying before, in the North Wales dialect anyway. Hopefully it is in the South as well. But Mel means honey. So presumably because the lady's picking flowers, that's a reference, maybe, to the nectar, possibly. Mel. Is it honey? Yeah, it is. This is not the best Welsh lesson you're ever gonna have. Don't take too much studious notice of it. But anyway, there's Mis Gorffennaf. just in case you're interested to see how these words are written. That's a really beautiful coastal. Oh my gosh, do you know what, that's my... all of these pictures. Oh, this one, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. Mis Aust, which is August. Now this, oh my gosh, it's idyllic. If I could live in this picture, then that would be me. I would have a very idyllic life. I think we all would. I'll give you a close-up because, ooh, where are the people? How can I do this? Can I see what I'm doing? Do you know what? I don't know what I'm showing you, but I'm hopefully showing you... Oh no, it's there, sorry. There they are. Oh. So, she's sewing. Can you see that? And he's playing his guitar. I'll go really slowly and hopefully you can see that the lady's doing some sewing. How beautiful. So she's doing some handcraft and her husband's playing her some music. It's really romantic. I don't know if that's focusing. So, Mis Aust. That's how you spell Aust for August. Mis Meti. I keep forgetting to tell you the names of the pictures. This one's just called Jade, so maybe that's the name of the lady in the picture. Mis Meti is September. A lot of people use Meti as a name as well, so my friend's little girl is called Alau Meti because she was born in September. And there's the word for Meti. Nearly there. Yeah, so this one's called Madarcha, which is mushrooms. So this lady's picking some mushrooms. And it's Mis Hedrev, which is October, and it's the same word that we use for the autumn, Hedrev. So Mis Hedrev is October. And there she is picking some madach, mushrooms. I hope you like this. If not, you could just skip ahead. If you're getting bored of this, just skip on to the knitting bit. Okay, Mis Tachwedd, which is... oh, hang on, it's got to be November. Yeah, I haven't learnt my months very well because I've got to work it out. So this is Mis Tachwedd. Tachwedd. Get there. And it says a goleti and a storm. So presumably a goleti is the... Well, not just presumably, because you can actually see that it's the name of the pub. Hopefully you can anyway. So that's showing you a pub in a little town. Looks like a seaside town. Oh, so beautiful. So that's Mis Tachwedd. That's how to say. Well, you've got this double D, so it's Tachwedd. So the double D gives you a sound. I know you can't see my face, sorry. And then, is this the last one? Last one, Mis Rhagfyr, which is a bit hard to say. And it's a lovely snowy picture of a lady outside her beautiful Welsh cottage, and everything's covered in snow. And there's the lady. I'll give you a close-up of the lady. Hopefully. And that's called Yr Wydd Wen. Well, wen means white. I'm not sure what wydd means. Actually, sorry. It could mean goose because she's holding a goose. Again, oh, she's got a beautiful Welsh blanket hanging on her washing line there. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I love that calendar. It's hanging up here in the Rupembar room, and it just brings me lots of joy every time I look at the pictures. Hope you liked that. So that was quite a lot of Welsh for you to start the podcast off. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing those pictures, and really hopefully that they weren't all blurred or too shiny because it's quite a glossy calendar. So, gosh, I must have spent quite a long time showing you the camera because I've had to set the record again. So let's crack on with a little bit of knitting. Right, I'll show you what I've been doing for the Cal. We're having a January Cal in the Ravelry group, in the Loop and Bar Ravelry group, and the theme of that Cal is to try something new. It's been brilliant. It's still going very actively. We've got lots of stuff going on in there. We've had some brioche, we've had some successes and some not successes. But that was the whole point of the Cal, and I think that I'm going to include myself in the not quite successes, successful category, because, well, I'll show you in a minute. I've been trying colour work and spinning as something new. I know I've done colour work before because I've showed you my fancy hen, but I've not done a colour work garment, especially in chunky yarn. I don't know why I said especially, because I just simply haven't done a colourwork garment before, so that was my sort of first. I'm looking at it now, do you know what, I thought I didn't like it, but I kind of do like it a bit, and I need to do some more work on it, but I'll show you it now. So, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's joining in with the Cal. I am really enjoying it. I'm loving seeing what you're all trying, and I love trying new things, and I love encouraging people to try new things. So I'm really, really enjoying this Cal. And I'm really proud of all my Calers, my people. I'm really proud of all the people that are in the Cal, the members of the group who are joining in, because it's scary trying something new sometimes, and I think the best place to try something new is in a group where you've got people to help you and cheer you on, or console you if it doesn't go right, or help you out if you need a little bit of help, pointing in the right direction. So, and I think that's definitely what's been happening. So I think I want to say well done to everybody who's been trying new things, and I think the stuff that we've been doing in there has been fabulous. We've got some beautiful projects in there. So this is what I have been working on, the snowflake sweater. I did show this in a previous podcast briefly. So mine does not look like this at all, in any way. It's from this book, the Rowan Farmhouse Knits. Can I show you? I think I'm going to sneeze. If I sneeze, please excuse me. It really feels like I'm going to sneeze. So there it is, the Rowan Farmhouse Knits. I bought this a few years ago. The designs are by Erica Knight using Amy Butler's Sweet Harmony, except Sweet Harmony yarn, but I'm not using Sweet Harmony yarn for mine. I am using Drops Andes, which again I showed on a previous podcast, and I have got some. I'll show you. I'll just grab the ball so you can see. Oh, that was a bit of a mess, but... Okay, so this is what I'm using. I'll just show you this briefly. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a long episode again, isn't it? I know it. Okay, there's the yarn I'm using. So it's the Drops Andes in these three colours. The main colours for the colour work are these two. Now, I thought because this is a bright blue that it would provide a really good contrast, but in actual fact when you start knitting, it's not providing the contrast that I wanted, which was making me doubt whether I liked my colour work or not. So I'll show you it and we'll all see what we think together. What I should have done, I've seen this tip somewhere, I read it in a blog or something, somewhere on Pinterest maybe, that if you're choosing shades for colour work, and I'm going to try to do this next time, because I didn't do it this time, you should take a photograph of your chosen colours in black and white, because it's not just about the colour but it's about the depth, the tone. So if I'd have taken a photograph of that in black and white, I would have realised that there's actually not very much tonal difference. They're both dark, even though this is a bright blue, and it is contrasting when you put them together in quantity like that, strand by strand, and when you incorporate quite a complicated colourwork pattern, I don't think it's showing as clearly and crisp as I would like it to. But here is what I've done so far. Now, anybody in the Cal has already seen this because I've done nothing since I showed a photograph. I'm really sorry. I'm actually not the best CAL member. I'm probably the worst CAL member, and it's my own CAL, which is very bad. But I've been making bags, and yeah, I'm speaking to everybody in the CAL, so that's my excuse. But this is the first time, if you're not in the CAL, that you might have seen this. So here's my colourwork so far. The other thing is that it sort of feels as if it's going to be too small, although I think it does stretch out quite a bit. But I'm wondering if I should have done the next size up. I did do a gauge swatch, but I didn't do it in colourwork. It did say to do it in colourwork, but I didn't. I just did it in the yarn in stocking stitch, so that might be making a difference. I'll just try and give you a close-up, if that helps. Oh, I've dropped the yarn. Okay, so there's a close-up. Something else that you might notice, having just seen I don't know if you'd noticed this at all, but the pattern on the jumper is actually pretty much a snowflake. Has that gone really yellow? Blowing the colour out, isn't it? And requires you to use intarsia. I don't like intarsia. I especially don't want to do intarsia with chunky yarn. I just think it'll look messy and holey, and the fabric won't be very stable. I tried it before and I didn't like it. So I adapted the chart. So I think, without giving anything away, I need to write down where I am in the chart before I show you it. Sorry, I'll just grab a pen. I want to show you the chart that I've done. So I'm there, just so I can put my post-it note back again in the right place. So I won't show you the chart from the book because it's a paid for pattern, and that's not cool to do that on the podcast. But this is the chart that I've really heavily adapted. So this is not going to give anything away from the pattern because it looks nothing like really the original. So hopefully it will show up. But that's my version of the chart, so it's not really even recognisable as the chart that's given in the book, but that's the one I'm following. And the reason I've done that is because I wanted to have only 2 or 3 stitches in a row of each and every colour for the stranded colourwork to work. Otherwise I would have had to have used the intarsia method. So that's probably what's contributing to this. Well, I think if I'd have used a paler blue, then this would be showing up a lot more clearly and it wouldn't confuse your eyes so much. But I feel like it confuses your eyes a bit. I think I'll carry on though, because it's a learning process. Here's the back of my work, in case you're interested to see. I'm trying to make sure that I carry my dominant colour, which is my dominant colour? I can't remember which one's my dominant colour now. That's really important. I need to remember that for next time I knit on it. Oh, why didn't I write that down? I think it's this colour. I think I'm doing the dark colour as the dominant. And I'm carrying it under when I'm carrying the floats. If you've never done stranded colourwork, that might just be gobbledygook. If you have, then hopefully you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've got any tips for me, I would love to know. I know I've gone wrong on choosing the colours. It's looking a bit uneven to me. Sometimes I think it's a little bit tight, and sometimes I've gone a bit too the other way, and I've got a couple of stitches that are sort of just bulging out a little bit. But that's all I've done so far. That's the front. The back is the same, and then you knit the sleeves separately as well, and the sleeves are all colourwork all the way up too. And I think I need to adapt the chart a little bit for that as well, to make it more compatible with Fair Isle, with the stranded colourwork technique, which is what I'm using. So the other thing I've been doing for my CAL, we've had some other people doing some colourwork in the CAL as well, and they've done some really fabulous things. We've had a lovely, did we have a hat? I know I was shown a picture of a hat. I can't remember. I meant to have a look through the thread actually, so I could talk a little bit about it. But if you're interested, even if you don't want to be in the CAL, you can go and have a look at it. And there's still time to join in with it if you want to. Oh yes, and what I will say about that is I will be doing a prize thread, a giveaway thread. I can't decide at the moment whether to do a separate thread where I think I might do. I think what I'll do is I'm going to make a prize. I've got another little prize that I'll show you here as well. I'll show you that now. And I'm going to make a bag, but I think I want to make a tote bag rather than one of my normal project bags, because I haven't made a tote bag before, and I want to keep in line with the try something new theme of the Cal. And I think I've got some really beautiful fabric that I would really like to use to make a slightly larger tote bag. It will be really good practice for me, because it might be something I could put into the Etsy shop, and I think it would be a lovely thing for someone to have. You could store yarn in it, you could keep a big project in it, or you can just use it for your shopping or your library books. That's what I like to use my tote bags for when I go to the library. But I'm also going to give away this beautiful soap, so there'll be just one prize, I think. And this is, oh, it's so gorgeous. It's wild fig and grape, and I bought it when I went to Anglesey, which is an island off the west coast of Wales. And we went there for the day, and there was a lovely shop that sold all these beautiful soaps. Oh, I think I got it from the Janet Bell Gallery. She's an artist as well, a local artist too, to North Wales. And it's organic soap, it's wild fig and grape, and it's made for Art House Meath by a specialist UK soap maker who provides employment for people with visual impairment and disabilities. And so the artists work alongside instructors who enable individuals to create artworks. All artwork derives from the skills each artist brings, and every contribution holds true value. 100% of the sales revenue goes towards sustaining the enterprise, helping it to grow and evolve. And you can discover more at www.arthousemeath.com. It smells divine. I don't know how I've been able to resist using it. I did buy myself another one. It wasn't the same exact one, but oh my gosh, wild fig and grape, it just smells so beautiful though. That will be one of the prizes. That will be part of the prize, sorry. And I can't show you the tote bag because I haven't made it yet. That's going to happen in the next few days. So, but I'll post a picture of that in the January Cal thread, and I'll tell you more in the actual Cal thread. If you're joining in with the Cal and you want to enter to win the prize, I need to have a little think about how to do it first. So I'll have a think about that, and then I'll let you all know through the Cal thread. So make sure if you've been joining in with the Cal, if you finished your project and maybe don't think you might not be dipping back into the thread, that's fine. But just make sure, perhaps just pop back in a few days just to have a quick look, because I will be posting a picture of the prize of the bag and letting you know how to go about entering for it. Or it might just be that I'll do it from the chatter thread. So I'll let you know in the Cal, in the thread. Here's my next attempt at trying something new. So you've seen a bit of my spinning before. I have tried it before. It's not an entirely new thing. I've only tried it once though. So I thought I'd pick up my spinning, what's this called? Spindle. And give it a whirl. I'm not sure I'm getting on with the fact that it's a, hang on, how do you spin it? It's a top whirl, so this thing's called a whirl, I think. And you have to spin it with that at the top, but I think I prefer it if it was at the bottom, because I think I'd get a more even spin. That's what I'm going to say anyway. I'm going to blame it on the tools. And this is what this is the result that I've got. Let me just see if I can show you like that. Very lumpy bumpy. Basically it's not really yarn, it's just sort of lumpy string. And that's not too bad actually, that bit. Can you see it? Oh, I don't know if it's showing. Oh gosh, how do I show you? I know, I'll do this. I'm kind of hoping that that's going to show up okay. And there it is on the thing. I don't know the words. I don't know spinning words. We've had a few other people in the thread who are spinning. I'm really, really excited to see the results. Some people have been doing drop spindles. 2 people have bought spinning wheels. I blame myself. I take the blame for those mad wild purchases. They seem to have just happened through the cow. But no, seriously though, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the results of that. So if you get them after the Cal has finished, please do share in the Knit Lounge. I'd really love to see what you're spinning. Anyway, that was my spinning. I don't think I'm a natural spinner, but I will keep practicing in the name of the Cal, just maybe till the end of January. I'd love to have a go on a wheel. Perhaps I'd do better. Right, does anybody want to see a tiny, tiny cardigan? You might have seen a photo on Instagram. I've been knitting the most tiny little cardigans for the doll. So in the last podcast I showed you the sort of winter fairy doll that I made. It went on the top of my Christmas tree, and then I sent it to my little, no I didn't send it, I took it to my little niece. I wrapped it up and gave it to her as a present. Evie, and she is 4.5, and oh, her face when she opened up the little present and saw this little winter fairy, oh my gosh, it was so sweet. She genuinely loved it. I think it looked like she was delighted with it, and she played with it while I was there, so it was just lovely. The only thing that was missing was the dolly didn't have a cardigan, so I told Evie that I would make her dolly a cardigan to keep her warm. So I've got another of the same doll here, so this is not the doll I gave to Evie. I've made quite a few. I've got several of these in my loop and bar room. I've been making them for about 8 years now. Yeah, it was about 8 years ago when I started designing and making them. And over the years, the design and the process has changed, as things do when you're designing. And this is kind of the final design, and this is the design that I'm sort of happy with and might take forward in some way through loop and bar. I'm just trying to, I'm going to spend a few weeks, maybe a month or so, having a think about how to do that. But I knitted Evie's dolly a cardi, so the other dolly that I've got here is modelling that for you, and then I'm going to put this in the post to Evie this afternoon so that her dolly can wear it. So here we are. There's the little mini cardi that I knitted. It's in Drops Alpaca. Is it a lace? No, it's not lace. I can't remember the exact yarn, sorry. There's the back of it. But it's in a Drops Alpaca anyway. I really hope that's focusing. Bear with me. And there's the front. So it's a bit like a featherweight really. It's knitted top down. I'll just show you the dolly sort of... Oh, my tummy's rumbling. Don't know if you can hear that. Okay, there's the doll. I know, the full doll. I have no idea what you can see, sorry. I'll just move it around a bit. At the moment she's wearing a piece of fabric pinned onto her to look like a dress. In my, you may have seen me do this sort of thing on Instagram before, it's terrible, sticking pins in stuff. But I'm intending to make her a really sort of beautiful rustic linen dress, just like this. So I pinned it on just for the purpose of showing you the cardigan really. So I knitted this little cardigan, top down in the round. I made up the pattern myself, I've written it down, so if anybody's got a doll that you think that this might fit you, it's possible I might put the pattern on Etsy, actually, thinking about it. Now how can I show you it? And I used my Higher Sharps 2.25 I believe. So that's what I used. That and it's a combination of needles, but they're all 2.25. I don't know how, but I amazingly had 3 sets of 2.25 Higher Sharps, which is brilliant. And I did buy myself a set of 1.5mm to do the ribbing around the bottom and which I didn't use for that cardi, but I did in the next one, so I'll show you the next one. So there's my 1.5 higher sharps, and I love them. I love fiddly stuff. I've always liked working. Is it showing? Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I'm out of practice because I haven't podcasted for ages. Could be a bit of a wibbly wobbly, unfocused podcast. So the next cardi I'm going to show you, I knitted with Unicorn Tails by Madeline Tosh. Can't remember the colourways, but they're really beautiful. So the main colour is blue. I'll put it on the doll in a minute, you can see it there. And here's the little tiny cardi. And then I did the button band in the dark colour. Should I do that just in case? And I've put little tiny buttons on. Hopefully you can see that. There's the back. It's very, very tiny. I might put it on my Ravelry project pages and put measurements on, because if you've got anything tiny that you want to knit a cardigan for, you can have a look at the measurements and see whether the pattern would, whether it would fit your, whatever it is you've got, doll, or perhaps you've got, I've been talking to somebody in my Ravelry group, Sylvia, is it Sylvia? She's bought a Mayleg rabbit. I've got a Mayleg mouse, I've had it for quite a while. The Mayleg mouse is probably too small for this cardi actually. I'd have to knit an even tinier one to fit the Mayleg mouse. But there's the cardigan on her. And I said that I would put some notes about this on my Ravelry pages. But I'm just thinking now, I might actually put the pattern on Etsy, just in case anybody's interested to buy it. If you like fiddly knitting. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fiddly knitting. But I've always liked that kind of thing. I'm okay with little tiny fiddly things. Okay, so that's the back of it. And the other one I did, I'll just show you this like this, I won't put it on the doll, is made in Jamieson Shetland. So this doll has got 3 cardigans. Oh no, she's got 2, because one's going to Evie's little doll. Gosh, my phone's ringing a lot this morning. I hope they're just trying to get hold of me. Well, obviously they are, but I mean, what I mean is I hope it's not, I hope it's, it'll just be people selling things. I've got my mobile there, so if anybody I know wants to get hold of me, they can ring me. So there's the Jamieson Shetland cardigan. I'm going to say this a lot through this podcast, it just doesn't look like it was focusing. I might take some more footage later and insert it if it didn't focus very well. Now then, what do I want to show you next? I'm going to show you some yarn because I wanted to show you it in the last podcast, and this might be the last thing I show you because I think this podcast is going to last a very long time otherwise. Oh my gosh, I've got to tell you something really exciting. I totally forgot. This is something that I've been really... Oh, and I've got to say a special hello to somebody as well, so I'll do that first. I have a lovely follower called Harriet, a subscriber, and she reached out to me in the comments from my last podcast and asked if I could give her a little hello and a shout out. She's got a beautiful name, Harriet Rose. And I think she does a bit of podcasting as well, Harriet Rose Creations, a bit of a lifestyle podcast, and she's done some crochet. And I just wanted to say hello to you, Harriet, and I really, really hope that you have managed to pick up your crochet hook or do a little bit of sewing. I know we talked a little bit about project bag tutorials and that you'd like to have a go at making some project bags. If you still would like me to send you a link to some tutorials, I have found a couple of really lovely ones. I think they'd be really good for you to have a go at. So let me know in the comments below if you're watching the podcast. And yeah, I just wanted to say hello to you and Buddy, your lovely little dog. I hope you're having a lovely day. Now, trust that to happen in the middle of me saying hello to somebody, but my camera just ran out again. So, sorry Harriet. I was saying that I really hope you're having a lovely day. I hope that you are feeling a lot better. And I hope that you will still feel like coming and joining in with the January Cal. Please let me know if you want me to send you a tutorial for making a bag, and perhaps you can pop along to the Cal and join in, or just pop along to the Knit Lounge. There's a lot of friendly people in there who would love to see what you're doing and share some chat with you, and would be very welcoming. So I just wanted to say that I definitely didn't want to forget to say hello to you, Harriet, because I knew I especially said that I would do. So now, what was the next thing I wanted to say? Think, Kate, think. I'm going to show you. Oh no, yes, oh my god, it's the massive thing. Right, okay, we're going on holiday. Woo, oh damn, I forgot the thing to show you. Never mind, I'll just tell you where we're going. I was going to show you the brochure and reveal the destination, but I've forgotten it. It's downstairs. Scatterbrain today. So we are going on holiday in February. We are going on the 1st of February, and we are not coming back until the 3rd of March. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Can you guess where we're going? You might have guessed that it's far because we're going for such a long time. We're going for a whole month. We're basically kind of leaving February behind, the UK February, and we're going to embrace the summer in Australia. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't believe I nearly forgot to tell you about it. So we're going to be in Australia for all of February. Stop the press. It's so exciting. One thing I'm definitely not excited about is leaving Charlie for all that time. It's massive. I have left her for 3 weeks before because we went to New Zealand 2 years ago. But this is 4 weeks, and to me that feels a little bit of a stretch to leave her. I've no problem going on holiday for that amount of time. I'm so looking forward to it. Avion's worked so hard this year. We've had a really tough year, what with various different factors, and from really, from spring of last year all the way through to, well, yeah, it's been a tough year. It's been a good year in some ways, but it's been a really tough year in other ways for us. So we definitely are looking forward to this lovely holiday and some sunshine, and then the fact that when we get back it's going to be spring. It's a bit optimistic because in the village where I live it's quite high up. Spring probably won't arrive until the end of April, but it's going to be definitely a lot lighter. So the days will be longer, the clocks will be going forward when we arrive back. That's going to be something amazing to look forward to. And we're already seeing longer days, so that's lovely. I'm hearing the birds singing. I've got some little bulbs starting to show through. So it's all good, but it's even more better, that's terrible English. It's just so brilliant that we're going on holiday. Yeah, don't want to leave Charlie for that long, but she is going to Avion's parents on the farm. She's used to going there. That's where she went when we went to New Zealand, and it's pretty much where she goes every time we go away. So I know that she's going to be really well looked after. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So we'll be flying to Melbourne, and we're collecting a camper van that we've already booked, and we're going to drive around the whole state of Victoria for a whole month. God, it seems amazing that we're going to do that, but that's what we're going to do. So there won't be any podcasting for the whole of February, but that's not anything too different because sometimes I can go that long without, maybe not 4 weeks, but so I'm sorry about that. There won't be a podcast, but I don't know if I'll be on Instagram either. Because I don't know how my mobile phone is going to work in Australia. I might just be taking another phone that I've got that's just a pay-as-you-go, just purely to have a phone to call if we need to. I will hopefully still be on Ravelry. I'll probably be joining it in on Instagram actually through my laptop in terms of commenting and just seeing what everybody else is up to, but I might not be able to post on Instagram. But I don't know about that yet. Like I say, I don't really know how phone contracts work in different countries, so I'm not sure. I'll still be around then on Instagram and Ravelry. We just can't wait. We just literally can't. Well, I'm just so excited about it. I've done an itinerary. I've drawn a map of the state of Victoria. I've marked out lots of different things. I've been on the Visit Melbourne website. It's fantastic. Avion used to live there, so he knows a lot about the area. He's very experienced in being in Australia. I've never been, it's going to be my first time, so oh my gosh, I can't wait! Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm going to be routing out the yarn shops in Melbourne. I know there are a couple. I've heard them spoken about on Bex's podcast of Creative Naturally. Shara, I don't know what the yarn store is that she goes to, but I know it's in Melbourne, so from the Shara Made podcast, Shara. So I'm really, if you could tell me where those yarn shops are, that would be fantastic, because I'm going to go there. I'm going to drag Avion to them. I'm also looking forward to looking around the Botanic Gardens in Melbourne. That's how I'm going to justify missing 3 weeks of my gardening course. But my tutor has assured me that I'll be able to catch up over Easter. So that's all good. So that's brilliant. So hopefully I'll get another short podcast in before I go on holiday, but I might not. So this could be the last time you see, the last episode you see for a good few weeks. Possibly I might do, like I say, hopefully I'll do a quick one before I go. But I can't guarantee it, I'm not really sure, because I think we're going to be quite busy, and it's not that long till we go. I've got this terrible habit of thinking I've got a lot more time to do things than I actually have. So, so that's that. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to show you, because I might have now finished the podcast. There's a couple more things on my desk. I'm thinking about a couple of putting some different things into the Etsy shop. I'm not entirely sure what yet. Possibly some different sizes of bags or slightly different style, possibly some zipper ones. I'd like to do some notions pouches. I've seen some really lovely tutorials, so I'm going to have a go at that. Maybe some embroidered buttons, because at the moment I'm sending out a button with each bag and a tea bag. I may or may not continue to do that. I definitely will with the batch that I'm going to send off today. But thereafter I may, because it's been suggested to me that people might like to buy them, so I might actually start doing those, how do I say this, putting those for sale. But I think if I do, I might make them a bit special, like this one that I made a few years ago. This is one of my one and only attempts at embroidery. Well, no, because I embroidered the Christmas bag, but this is one of my first attempts then, should I say, at embroidery. It's just a little rose sort of type flower, and I think it's the bullion stitch that I used. I really hope you can see it. And I think that I'd like to try out a few more embroidery stitches and do some little bits of embroidery like that onto linen and create some buttons. So it's just a loop back button like that. I might even try and do them as brooches as well, because they're really nice to wear. And possibly, I don't know, I've got a couple of goals for myself for 2017. I would like to do a bit of designing, but small scale stuff. I'm not quite sure yet what, but I really would like to sit down and have a little go at doing some pattern, possibly sewing as well. Oh, I didn't tell you about my yarn. Oh my gosh, okay, I'll just tell you about I'm all over the place. There's an aeroplane going past as well. That could be noisy, I'm not sure. Right, I'll quickly show you this beautiful yarn. So Etsy shop, hopefully there's going to be more happening in the Etsy shop in 2017. And I'll tell you about my personal goals in the next podcast. Oh my gosh, you just won't know what's going on when you're watching this podcast. Okay, this episode. Right, I've got this beautiful yarn. I have to show you this because this is my Australia project. I'm taking knitting to Australia with me. I'm taking knitting in my main luggage because I want to finish my featherweight cardigan and my Andrea shawl. Totally absolute goals for while I'm in Australia. I want those garments for when I get back in the spring. Possibly I'll finish them and be able to wear them while I'm in Australia. But for the plain, I'm going to take some crochet because I don't want to risk having my higher sharps confiscated at Manchester Airport. I don't think they'll let me take those on the plane, so they'll have to go in the main luggage. I do know that I can take crochet because I've done that before when we went to New Zealand. So I've got this beautiful yarn. I've showed this one before on the podcast. It's by Walk Collection. No, I'll do it like that. And this colourway is South Sea Pearls, and I think it's the Delicate Merino. And then I've got another one. Yeah, it is. Yep. There's the label. I think this is Arctic Wolf, this colourway. Let me see how to show you. Sorry, twisting it round a lot. There we go. Perhaps that's a good way to show you. Or maybe I'll just move it back. Why do I think I've got to show you everything so close up? So these two colours are what I've got so far, and I'm planning on some very fine, tiny crochet, hexagons, granny squares. I haven't decided yet. I just know that I need something handwork to do on the plane, as well as books to read. If I do get a podcast in before I go, hopefully I will have started a little sample of that crochet to show you. And I'll share the books that I'm taking with me to read as well, because I think that's interesting. In case you're interested to know what I enjoy reading, I've ordered a couple of books to take with me. So there's the beautiful yarn so far. I don't know what size blanket, I don't know what kind of thing it's going to be for. I just know that I want to use this gorgeous yarn. I can see it working really beautifully in a sort of hexagon crochet, or just a plain square, granny square crochet, just to show off those beautiful colours. So I'll do a bit more thinking about that, and I'll hopefully crochet up a couple of samples to show you for the next episode, if I get one in before the holiday. Okay, I think I've talked about everything that it's possible to talk about today. I've made a really long podcast again, and I'm going to go and do 1471 on the phone because it's been ringing, and I just want to check in case it was somebody, one of our family, that was trying to get hold of us. And I need some lunch because I'm going to work soon, so I need to go and do that. So I was planning on talking a little bit more about a bit of farm life. I was going to show you a little bit of footage of some of the birds I've been watching in my garden. Possibly I might put that in now. Charlie's having a wash very noisily behind me, so I'm sorry if that's distracting. She had a treat before I started recording. Hello. You can't see her. I know you can't see her. She's not in the shop, but she's here. Go and lay down. Go and lay down. Go and lay down, darling. Good girl. That's it. She's really noisy because her claws click on the floor. That's it. She's got a fleece. She's got a wool rug underneath my desk, and she's got a wool rug at the dresser, so she can choose where to lay, and she keeps me company when I'm in here. But she had a lovely treat. Charlie loves carrots, so before I started recording the podcast, I gave her a nice treat. One of her favourite things, which is a carrot. Quite possibly, I'll show you a bit of footage of that here. Yeah, and maybe a few shots of the birds. They're getting braver. I've got one particular little blue tit who knows I'm watching him, and he looks at me as well. We look at each other while he's feeding. It's really sweet, so I might have to name him soon. But I can see a great tit is about to come onto the bird feeder as well. It's absolutely, I love this bird feeder. I'm loving it. So, that's going well. Anyway, I'll stop. I'm really babbling now. I will hopefully see you before I go on my holiday. If I don't, then have a lovely rest of February, and I'll see you in the spring. But if not, then I'll see you a bit before. And have a lovely week. Thank you to anybody who's shown interest in the Etsy shop. Thank you so much if you visited and had a look. Thank you if you're a new subscriber. We have got 970 subscribers to the podcast now. So when we get, I should say if, not when, because that's presumptuous. If we get to 1,000, I will be doing a giveaway, absolutely for sure. So that's something exciting to look forward to as well. That's probably going to be after the holiday. So anyway, I'm going to go. So have a lovely week, have lots of lovely, happy knitting, crochet, crafting time, and I will hopefully see you very soon before I go on holiday. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.